Good morning. My name's Kieron Seamons and I'm going to do some drawing for you today. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, follow and subscribe and see lots more. There's about 450 videos on here at the moment, so enjoy them. Hello and welcome to today's drawing. It's another piece for somebody else. A lot of political comments at the moment, and a lot of people want to get their thoughts and opinions across, and that's what I'm doing today. But that's on that side of things. It's a beautiful day outside. I should set my desk up outside, you know, in the garden or something. That would be quite a beautiful thing, wouldn't it? Again, we're just drawing ahead with Indian ink, trying to get a nice feel in here without getting too many blobs on your finger. It's a difficult thing to do these days. I seem to be getting more and more kind of hard, or I don't want to say aggressive because that's kind of like not a good word at the moment. I'm getting a bit tough with the paper. There you are, tough. So what I've got today is I've got this big, tough, strong guy, like some kind of medieval AXEMAN, or what is the term for somebody who chops somebody's head off? Is there a technical term for it? The beheader, the de-header. Executioner, thank you. Executioner, of course. There he is, in all his ragged glory. I'm going to try to get down. I kind of like the idea of him having a cross or something, you know, like he's going to chop somebody's head off, but he's still a man of God, or just in case he ends up under the blade. Never know in those days, do you, where who's going to be next with the chop. There you go. So I had a couple of comments, a couple of questions. One of the questions was about confidence. How do you know where you're going to put your ink line, and how can you be so confident that it's going to work? Well, I don't know. I guess confidence just comes from doing it every single day of the week. You know, you just kind of get to the stage where, you know, if you're doing it now and again, then it probably is a little bit scary. You know, it's a little bit kind of like make you nervous sitting there drawing, but if you've got to get up there and do it, you know, I mean, I don't post up half of what I do. In fact, not even anywhere near half. I post up a couple of drawing videos now and again just to kind of remind people I'm still alive, you know. That's that's what happens when you're an artist, you know. It's like most people are. It's kind of difficult to get people interested in what you're doing. You know, it is. It's difficult for people to be interested. It's difficult, you know. I think drawing, if it's not done with some kind of amazing technical device these days, it's like, you know, if Tesla came out with a new iPad and here I'm going to draw with my new Tesla iPad, people would probably be interested and curious to see how it's going to work, but in this case, this is my iPad. It's the first generation of the iPad. It's an old generation of it. It's the old pen and paper version. And I still prefer to see actually people drawing with pen and paper and pencil and paper, painting canvas, whatever. I'm much more on that side of things, much more on the traditional side. But I'm still interested in what's going on, you know. I do see what happens with the the new devices. In fact, I've got a couple of the new devices, but I'm not sure I can get the same feeling from them. At the moment, I kind of can't seem to get the same feeling as I can with a nib, you know. I can't just kind of make it work when I want, do what I want. It's like, but I'm working on it. Maybe one day I'll be doing lessons or doing drawings with iPads and stuff like that. Who knows? If you do use the iPad and you want to share your artwork for me, send me over a link. You can hook up with me everywhere at the moment. I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, Instagram, all the old haunts. So say hello. Show me what kind of artwork you do. And of course, as always, I'd love to know what you think of what I'm drawing. I'm always curious to see what people think. Good or bad, you know. I'm not saying everybody's going to like what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't like what I'm doing. You know, sometimes you draw something and you go, oh dear, 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 I shouldn't have made a video for that. And then sometimes you post up stuff that you hate and then somebody else says, oh, that's my favorite drawing. So you never quite know. But confidence, yeah, it'll come the more you kind of get used to it and making mistakes as well. It's like you're going to make mistakes, you know. And like down here, I was making a mistake. I drew that without thinking about the rope. Bam, silly boy. But then you've got to kind of go in and patch it up and make it look like you're a genius or something, and everybody's going to think, oh look, he made no mistakes in that drawing. So you will get used to that as well. You'll kind of get used to the fact of making more mistakes, and you'll get to the point of just being able to work over them. And yeah, so it's difficult also. I mean, being an artist these days is like, it's difficult to get people to be interested in what you're doing. And so, you know, my kids, I hope my kids never want to be an artist, you know. I hope they get a real job. What is a real job, Kieron? Well, I don't know. I guess some kind of academic job, you know, some kind of job you need to use your brain. Kids are way clever, much more clever than I ever was. Don't tell them that. For God's sake, don't tell them that. But yeah, kids are these days, you know. Kids are so damn clever these days. Mind you, we never had all these big fancy devices when I was a kid. What am I doing? Right, yeah. Okay, just to remind myself, I'm going to be drawing lots of people here that are cheering and happy. So I'll put in a couple of signs. I haven't really worked it out fully, but I kind of know what I'm doing. Let's just put freedom, if I can fit it all in. Yeah. But I hope that, you know, art and subjects like that will keep alive as we're getting more and more technical, and people are getting more and more clever. I'm not actually, just so you know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing, I know what I have to achieve. So I know that there's a man here with a big axe and he's going to chop somebody's head off. I know behind him there is a crowd that is jumping and happy, and on this side there's going to be a group of people that are not happy. So although I haven't really kind of drawn it out and planned it of who's standing where and what, I have to use my creative imagination to make it work, as it were. I mean, I could sit there and draw every person and plan it all out, and he's going to be wearing this type of shirt and he's going to be doing this, and but for what, you know? I mean, I'm surely at this stage in my life I should be experienced enough to be able to know how to draw a man without structural problems. I'm going to be putting a lot of grey in here as well. I plan to kind of grey everything out, so it's got a medieval type feeling for it anyway. So I'm trying to just come up with some kind of anti-war type things. I'm going to do one of those kind of anti-war peace sign type of things as well. Put one of those in there. And I'm just going to fill that out with people behind him. So that's kind of the way I like to work. I like to work with a little bit of freedom. I like to work with knowing what I have to do and maybe put down a couple of points of where things are going to be and how many people need to be in the picture and what the people are doing. Kind of think about it, but don't really plan it out and draw everything down. Otherwise you kind of get to a point where all you're doing is tracing over things and it kind of loses that, you know, loses that kind of life of the drawing, that looseness of the drawing. And that's what I'm trying to keep fresh. With doing some of this stuff, sometimes you just gotta keep it fresh, keep it feeling loose in your mind. I think that will keep everything feeling really exciting when you're doing it. And I think sometimes that really makes it worthwhile. Sometimes you kind of got this thing of this kind of looseness about things that make drawing exciting, you know. Otherwise you just get into a point of planning everything out, drawing everything down. Well, that looks nice, that's pretty, okay. And sometimes it takes the fun out of it. I definitely think that, see, that's a mistake. There you are. I put a big blob of ink right where I didn't want to put a big blob of ink, and I have to try and save it, but we don't. We're gonna just make it work, aren't we? We're just gonna pretend it's what we were trying to do. So you do make mistakes and you do things like that. And I have this magic stuff over here called Tipex. When things are really ugly, you can kind of just paint it in and grey it down a little bit. And that will help. So there's a few little things that you can do. I need a few more people, a few more signs. What other signs have we got? That's something that you could probably work into a little bit more. You could probably work into what your signs were saying. Obviously it's about freedom and it's about no war, so you could do things like I was lucky I thought of that. That would probably be something that if I was doing something much bigger, I would probably have planned out what the signs were saying and stuff like that. But that's kind of like be down to more about what the person that is the drawing it's for might want certain things on, you know, written on the signs. I might contact that person and say, look, this drawing that I'm doing for you, what would you like in the signs? Would you like something like this? Would you like something like that? Would you, you know? And then those kind of people would come back and say, yes, I want something that says So that type of thing can be worked out. But characters and stuff, I mean, surely you're good enough now that you can just kind of just build things up behind. You can kind of just do things as you feel, you know. Especially if you had an experience already of being an artist and you've been drawing for a while, then surely you don't need to plan too much out. I'm quite confident in all of you that you're good enough that you could just draw a figure, a hand. If you draw them regular enough, you'd probably be able to do it without too much kind of worry or stress, or, you know, in the same way that you probably write your name without thinking about it. You know, you write your name every couple of days. You write your name, and over the years you just got so used to writing that signature. Or it's kind of like the same as drawing hands and drawing faces and drawing feet. Once you've done them quite a few times, you kind of know what they're going to look like anyway. So don't be too hard on yourself. Try to spend most of your time trying to enjoy the actual drawing. A lot of people are so worried about if they drew this good or if they drew that, and what this and what that. Like this is just like a wood pattern down the shaft of the stick. That looks fine. That looks good. It looks like wood. Big axe. I don't really think I've drawn an axe before, but I want a nice kind of medieval type of drawing. Or an axe. I want it to be a big kind of chunky. Can you see that? Can you see what I'm doing with there? Yeah, okay. Well, there you are. That's kind of where I'm heading for it. I've got to draw a political figure at the moment, which I'm not too happy about. I don't like drawing kind of caricature type things, and I try not to get into that kind of. Well, I mean, you know, it's a political situation. It's a political cartoon, and in some cases you need to draw these cartoons for people that maybe you don't fully agree with their opinion, but you know, humor and fun and stuff like that is. I'm not going to tell you who the person is, but if you can't guess, well, that's probably a bonus. If you can, well, you know what's going on in the world, so. I don't know. I'm not quite sure about that kind of political side of cartoons, to be honest. I'm not really that fond of a lot of political cartoons. Obviously some of my kind of heroes did a lot of political things. Gerald Scarfe, Ralph Steadman, and the like. So, yeah, it's nice to be asked to do it. But there's far too many crazy people out there at the moment. You know, don't see a cartoon as a cartoon. It's like, anyway. I hope you can see what's happening here. And I would love to have your opinion on the drawing. I'd love to have your opinion on anything, you know, about my drawing style or whatever you want to talk to me about. Like I said, I'm on lots of different forums platforms, Facebook, Instagram. It's lovely and quiet down here where I am at the moment. Just me in the house. So it's a lovely experience when you're drawing and you're surrounded by silence. And I'm sure some of you probably think silence would drive you crazy, but let's put a little comical thing on there. Collection. For poor. See, his head's going to fall into the pot, and that's the collection for the poor. I thought that's kind of a comical thing. Ha ha ha, he says to himself. My days are spent drawing. I've been drawing since I left school at 17. I've been drawing ever since. I went to work for Disney and a lot of other film companies when I left school. And that's what I did. I did animation and feature films and the such for about 30 years. Yes, I know I look very young, but yeah, I've done about 14 feature films, hundreds and hundreds of TV series, so now I'm enjoying the freedom of art and drawing what you want. And it's a beautiful thing. To be an artist is really a very, very special thing. I mean, if you are an artist, many of you out there are, if you are an artist, you are one hell of a lucky person. And although sometimes it's very difficult, selling artwork is very, very difficult. Selling books is difficult. Selling anything is difficult. I've got a shop and I sell t-shirts and hoodies and the such, cups and whatever, and yeah, it can be very, 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 very difficult. So lucky we are, but at the same time it's a very tough business to be in. It's tough to be inspired every day of your life, and it's tough to make a living. At that point, I will put in a little advert and say, yes, I do. I do commissions and I do book illustrations of any sort. I do a lot of children's books, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, where am I? children's books, and I love doing children's books. I have to kind of control my style a little bit for children's books, but it's another string to your bow, as they say. You know, it's like I love it. I absolutely love it. I have to move everything over a little bit. That's the full picture on that side. I'm just going to slide that over just so I've got a little bit more space here to finish off what I'm doing. I need to draw a small horse here, which is going to be kind of a little bit difficult, jiggling in amongst all the ink. For example, like with this has been asked. Someone has approached me and asked me to do this drawing, and of course I'm very happy to do it. It's always a challenge, you know. It's like part of the job is the challenge. It's like you know, when people approach you and say, hey, I've got this story about a dragon, and this dragon blah 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 rides a race car and what it's brilliant. It's like, you know, you have to get your brain in gear to achieve all this stuff. It's quite an incredible job. And of course, those who are artists will know exactly what I'm talking about. I would probably say the same thing about being like a singer, you know, like being somebody like Ed Sheeran or something. The fact that you come up and you kind of write a song and write it out and sing it for people, and people love it. You know, that must be an incredible feeling. I don't think you get it so much with the art side of things, unless you're like a painter or something like that. Then maybe you would get some kind of feelings like that. But oh, my paper's falling over. Huge chunks of paper all over the place. And this is supposed to be a man feeling free on his wild stallion. I'm sure you'll understand maybe more of the drawing than I want to say. It's obviously a world leader who's riding a horse of freedom, and he's kind of looking back over time and thinking what a silly ass he's been. Again, this is not for me. This is a commission. So someone has asked me to draw. That. I try not to draw political stuff. I try and stay out of it as much as I can. I'm much happier drawing the humor of life. What makes people laugh. Hopefully by now you've seen some of my other videos. There's about 450 videos up there of me drawing all sorts of crazy animals and whatever. I did a whole book of cats at one point. Crazy cats. so it doesn't look like the horse is flying. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. I love that. Let's just bring that back in a little bit more in there. That's lovely. That kind of the anger of kind of freedom and love coming. Let's put the sun in there. Some little clouds, just to kind of fill out the image more. The image of freedom a little bit. Lovely, that works. I think that works. Does it work? I have to keep asking you. You're very quiet over there. Yeah, I've got to put in a couple of I mean, it's also a privilege to be able to draw every day. I know that I could be out having some other job with a lot less freedom and a lot less enjoyment, and being an artist is just one of the greatest feelings in life. I mean, it's also quite a lonely job, you know. You spend a lot of time on your own, and you don't really see that many people. Well, I don't. It might be because I'm horrible. Because I'm totally horrible. But I'm always so busy doing something somewhere. And sometimes I get contacted by other artists, but I would love to I'd love to hear from you guys. Tell me, what do you think about what I'm doing? I'm going to try and do a few people that are kind of tied up, so that they can't really do anything about their situation. That's kind of like a symbol of silencing all these people, you know. They can't really kind of freedom of speech type of thing, you know. I don't have a dog either. My sister keeps asking me to get a dog, so I've got something to talk to. I see her point. I really do. Sometimes you're sitting here talking to yourself all day long. But I've been doing this most of my life, so you know, it's part of it somehow, you know. I'd love to get like a little French bulldog or something like that, you know. I can sit and talk to him and bore him with my crazy stories and thoughts, you know. So, it's starting to dry up a little bit, so I can go in and touch up a few bits. I guess a lot of artists in time have spent most of their life on their own. Most of their life kind of well, I mean, the sad thing about artists is there's a lot of artists that I've kind of read about kind of die poor, and you know, I remember reading the story about Rembrandt, and that just broke my heart. It was like, he died, you know, he died a poor man. It's like, how can Rembrandt die a poor man? He died a poor man in a grave. And I believe the grave is even unmarked. It's an unmarked grave. And God, dear. If Rembrandt's going to die like that, I don't know, I'll probably end up in a shoebox or something. I think Mozart did the same, didn't he? Mozart was kind of buried into a grave that nobody knows where he is. It's like, oh my God. What type of people are we? I mean, now Mozart and Rembrandt, people like that, are so important. Yeah, they're important to our life. I mean, I now and again I jump in and do a bit of painting, and you know, first book I will pull out is Rembrandt. You know, let's do a painting like Rembrandt. Yeah, sure. Not many of us can, but it's fun trying. I mean, you never know. Maybe in 100 years, people will be digging up my cartoons and going, "Wow, look at this! This man was a genius." Yeah, I don't think so too. You know, I'm just rambling away here. If I drive you mad, you can watch the drawing and turn the sound off. Sorry about that. It's just I originally I tried to get music to run over the top of my drawings, and like every time I put something up with a bit of music on it, then somebody would step in and say, "Oh, that's copyrighted music. You're not allowed to use that." So I thought, well, put your own chat on top of it and see if that'll do. So here I am. I mean, there's any amazing musicians out there that want to share their music, let me know. I think we're almost there. We're getting to the closing stages of it. As I always say at this point, thank you for watching, and I really do hope you enjoyed watching it and hopefully listening to me blabbering on. You see, if I was planning all these characters out and planning all the drawing out, by getting to this stage where I have to go in and fill out all these people in a crowd and stuff like that, it would be so painfully boring. But since I don't know what they're going to look like, it's adds a lot of fun to it. You know, I can kind of put the rope anywhere I want, and you know, I could add a knot there, and it just keeps the interest in as you're drawing. It keeps the excitement there, you know. And give them like big collars and maybe like even a little tie, maybe. You know, that's what's beautiful about it. The kind of freedom that you've got with it. So yes, I will be an artist until the day I die, hopefully. Couldn't think of myself as anything else. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else, you know. I just couldn't do it. Dull those down afterwards. That's the crowd behind it. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's kind of indicating enough of what I was trying to get across. I hope it's going to be pleasing for the person that's asked me to do this. Otherwise I won't get paid. Yeah, well, you know, I think it'll be nice. I think you'll love it. I am quite happy with that. I always put my name in red just to kind of, I don't know, it's just a kind of, well, let's not use red today since the subject is very red. Let's go with an orange. And I have enjoyed this very, very, very much. Thank you very much if you're still there. Yeah, probably not, but if you're still there, thank you so much for staying with me and watching through. Obviously, the more you watch, the more it helps my kind of YouTube numbers also, you know. I guess the more you watch, the more my numbers build up, and the more they think I'm a good boy, as it were. And that is me. That is me, Kieron Seamons, and that's another drawing for you today. Can you see all of it? Let's slide it along. Can you see that? Let's move those. Just pull it over a little bit more. Can you see that? There you are. That is today's drawing, and I hope you have enjoyed every minute of it. If you have, subscribe, send me a message. Give me a comment on it, you know. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you enjoy it? And if you did enjoy it, pop over and watch some of the other ones, okay? There's quite a few there, about 450 or something. So, Thank you very, very, very much. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you again very, very soon.